Hello everyone, welcome to Maths Bridge. We train and learn. We shall continue our C programming concepts. Let's get started. Hi, thank you for joining with us. Please feel free to subscribe our channel. Stay with us for upcoming sessions. Today our learning goal would be understanding why C language is called as a mid-level programming language. My first hello world program, basic C programming features, types of comments that we use in C programming, input statements, output statements, basic structure of C program, sample C source code. Let's see why C programming language is called as a mid-level programming language. We know that we have a high-level language, assembly language, and machine language, isn't it? In high-level language, complete source code is in the form of like a human readable format, text like a English statements, isn't it? Whereas assembly language, it is known as an intermediate programming language where we can see instruction set. In machine language, complete source code converted into a binary stream, combination of ones and zeros. It is very hard to understand by the human, but machine can understand. This is a more a machine specific. Now the question is, how C programming defines a mid-level programming with this concept? The answer would be C language supports the features of both a low-level and a high-level languages. C language program is converted into assembly code, then a machine language. When I say low language, the probably this is like a machine language is what I referring here. A machine dependent code is the low language code, which directly runs on the hardware and hence is faster. A machine language is not easy to understand by the human, however, a machine can understand. Whereas high-level language is a machine independent language, a statements like in English, and it is very easy to understand by the human. So, since the C language supports both low-level and high-level language features, we call it as a mid-level programming language. My first C program, hello world. Let's try understand basic programming structure of C program. If you look at my screen, I have a sample program to print hello world on the console. These are the line numbers of my program. Line number 1 and 2, I have a header files included for my program. stdio.h, stdlib.h. These are header files. We also known them as a preprocessor directives. Line number 3, I have a blank line. As usual, C ignores white spaces. For the readability point of view, you can have white spaces, whatever you would like to see your program neatly. Line number 4, a function that always appears in C program is int main. Code written inside the curly brackets, right? That is an executable code. In line number 5, printf is a function, library function, which I borrowed from these header definitions. The reason for using them is to display message on the console, output message. Return 0 at line number 6 is a last statement inside the main function. And line number 7, I have a closing curly bracket. This indicates my program end of main function. This is a basic structure of C programming. If I'm able to compile the code, I would get output as a hello world on my console, which is what I expected to see, isn't it? Wow, I completed my first program and also understanding basic structure which I can see in my programming. Usage of comments within the software programming. Do you know why we needed a comments? Comments are used to capture the additional information within the program for the specific logics. Logic can be a simple, complex in nature, isn't it? So it is very hard to recall what is the logic that we written. It is very helpful if you can capture some sort of a additional information within the code, so I can reread the statement to understand the logic that I have written, isn't it? Right? Then the question would be how the compiler understands this. Yes, it is. These comments are non-executable statements. Compiler ignores them. We have two types of comments, a single line comments like this and then multi-line comments. A comment starts with a double slash is known as a single line comments. You can have multi-line comments or the block line comments. Example, line number 7 to line number 9 are a multi-line comment. Now the question is there any rule where the comments can start? There is no a specific rule. You can start the comments anywhere else in your line. It can start at the beginning of the line, it can start in the ending of the line, or it can start in the middle of the line. And these are only a user-friendly, a readable text message which compiler don't even care, isn't it? So which will not, it will not be a part of your compiled output. So it is a best practice to use indentation and comments in the program for understanding of programs and its logic made easy for software programmers. Input and output statement, also known as IO statements. In our program, we use input statements and output statements more frequently. For instance, if you would want to read some input from the keyboard, you would be needing input statement called as a scanf function. Whereas if you wanted to redirect the text onto console, what you would be needing is a printf statement. And hence scanf and printf are known as a IO statements, input and output statements. You could see in this example, a line number 13, I was prompting user to enter the number using a printf function. And then let's say user input the number 25 into a program with the help of a keyboard. Now the scanf function reads the input and stores into variable. Now at line number 19, you would be redirecting the value that we read from the keyboard onto console, which is 25. This is how input and output statements are helpful when you are writing a program. Basic structure of C programming. This is a typical C programming structure that you will be seeing across your program practicing. The entire program is divided into subsections. A document section, as defined directive section, which is also known as a preprocessor statement section, definition section, global declaration section, main function, followed by subfunctions. Let's look at an example. Line number 1 to 3. This is the area where you are writing some sort of a history of the file. It can be a copyright information or change history or author of the file. Things like that can be captured. This section is known as a document section. The line number 4 and 5 are preprocessor directives as defined directory section. If you have any defines you would be needing in your program, for which you need a section that is called a as define section. Next, you would be needing a section for declaring the global variables. So we can have another section for the global variable declaration. We have one more is a prototyping, which C program needs it. And now there is a main function. If you look at a line number 19 to 25, this is basically a main function. Then you can write all subfunctions, isn't it? For every subfunction, you probably needed one prototype declaration at above the main function, as you can see in line number 14. This is how a structure of C program is laid out. You would be also following this structure while you are practicing your C programs.
Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, click on the bell icon, and please leave the comment. Happy learning. Thank you. Stay tuned to the upcoming sessions.